Well, a warm welcome back to the Olympic Sports Centre Gymnasium here in Changzhou and our continuing coverage of the China Open. We've had 3 straight game victories so far. We saw on Pan go through easily, Watanabe and Endo likewise, and then in just half an hour, Tai Tzu Ying seeing off Sonia Cheah. Which leaves us with the mixed doubles up next. Pua Varanyukroh and Tera Tanachai will start favourites here against the Indonesians Faisal and Widjaja. Here's how the draw has panned out. Ellis and Smith just through in the last few minutes to play Go and Lai in the second round. So it's either going to be German or Indian opposition for the winner of the match we're about to see in the last 16. Here they come. Got to go the right way though. Always helps to find the right court. As promised, Morten Frost has joined me. Always good to watch this Thai pair because they're entertaining. They're on the up. They're in the top 5 in the world now, and they're going to start pretty big favourites to win this particular match, Mort.
They're definitely favourites to win this match, but it's a very strong Indonesian pair as well, so you never know. But you are right that the Thailand pair, Pua Varanyukroh and Tera Tanachai, are definitely on the way up. They are edging closer and closer, I would say, to top 3.
And there you see it, 3-love is the head-to-head, and the last encounter wasn't particularly close, so something to prove today for Faisal and Widjaja.
No. This side. This side. Court.
This side. Court.
We got there in the end.
Hi, sir.
I think Kai Fengzhi, the umpire, knew what they meant. So he's just going to do a little bit of paperwork, and then we'll give you some information about this quartet. You did the finals day, didn't you, Morten, at the World Championships?
Yes.
A few weeks ago, and they were actually, I mean, they did brilliantly to reach the final, the Thai pair, but they, I think, a little bit outclassed were they in the final?
They were outclassed in the final. Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong played extremely well. However, in the Singapore Open earlier this year, I think it was in April or May, the Thailand pair actually beat the Chinese pair #1, so they are definitely on the way up.
So that's the measure of the task for the likes of Widjaja and Faisal. On the Thai Open last year, this pair, which is a Super 500 event, Widjaja actually formally partnered up with Eddie Subaktia, won several decent events. She's 25 now, a year older than her current partner. There he is. That 6th highest ranking you can see just from July, so not long ago at all. Got to the final of the German Open earlier this season. Sudirman Cup bronze this year in Nanning as well. So certainly they've got the pedigree to keep Pua Varanyukroh and Tera Tanachai honest, but we'll see whether they can do it. Just a reminder that we'll have 10 live matches for you today, not just today. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday and Sunday as well. Sunday is finals day. And if you want to make a note of it, you can check local time wherever you are. Start time tomorrow is 10 AM China time. It's only 11 o'clock on Friday, so don't let that catch you out. It goes back to 10 o'clock on Saturday, and then it's an afternoon, 1 o'clock for finals day. So we look at Tera Tanachai, 27 years of age, won the Singapore Open this year. It was a big win because they'd lost their previous 4 finals. And as we were just mentioning, got to the final of the at the World Championships last month. Kai Feng Ji is the umpire, and he will be supported by Cody Leach as his service judge from the United States.
But it is interesting that everybody's kind of getting measured how they're doing against the top pair in the world, Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong. And both these pairs have actually beaten the Chinese pair. The Thai pair did it in Singapore, where they went on to win it, as we discussed. But in July in the Japan Open, Faisal and Vijaja, they beat Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong in the quarterfinal. So both pairs has beaten the world #1. So it can be a very interesting match, depending on whether the Indonesian pair is having a good day or a bad day, because I feel that the Thai pair is probably a bit more steady.
Yeah, well, consistency's certainly been their watchword. We are due a close one. We've had 3 relatively one-sided matches on our TV court so far today. So it'd be nice to get a tightish contest. We'll see Tera Tanachai there, so good at the net. Anticipation is probably a middle name. Have to overcome that hoodoo of a 3-love head-to-head. The Indonesians.
And Sajli, Thailand. And on my left, Hafid with Jaja, Indonesia. With Jaja to serve to the Chapong. Love or play.
See, he's savvy, this umpire. He went for the first name pronunciation of the Thai pair. Much easier.
It is.
He knows what he's doing.
One love. Two love.
Yeah, what the Indonesians don't want is the Thais getting off to a flyer. Can just set the tone just wide.
Service over. 1, 2.
Well, that's a collector's item. Error at the net from Tera Tanachai.
Good interception there by Vijaja. She was waiting for that straight one, covered that one really well. Interesting, though, that the Thailand pair, Purwal Ranakroh and Tera Tanachai, they are number 10 on the race to Tokyo, where the pair from Indonesia is actually number 4 on the race to Tokyo. Of course, we haven't got a clear and full picture yet, because it all comes as and when the pairs are reaching 10 tournaments. But still, it's an indication that it can be a very tight contest.
Yeah, less than a year now to the 2020 Olympic Games.
Yeah, and a lot of people are asking whether you are accumulating points for the Olympics, like what you do in the race, the HSBC race to Guangzhou. But you're not. It's just like on the world ranking, it's your 10 best results that counts. And so far, the qualification for Tokyo started on the 1st of May, and we've been, what, 5 months into that qualification, and not anyone has reached 10 tournaments so far.
Yeah, it's a busy time coming up on the HSBC World Tour. We've got some European events in Denmark and also in Paris in France.
Yeah, lots of tournaments still coming up.
And then back to the Far East. Korea and various others. Tournament in India as well. And before we get to Guangzhou for the
6-3.
World Tour finals. Meanwhile, the Indonesians just opening up a little cushion on the scoreboard here early on. Good power from whoever running through.
Yeah, the Thailand pair here in the early stages of the opening game here, it's been a little bit too defensive, waiting for whatever's going to happen. They have to be much more proactive, as what we saw in this rally, and start taking the initiative and going on the attack.
Nice smash to the body, which Faisal couldn't do anything with.
That's very, very unlucky for Widjaja. She was leaving that one, but unfortunately for her, she couldn't get the foot away from the shuttle. And she touched it on the way down. Yeah, well placed there by Faisal on the forehand side of Ranakro. Perfect placement. Try to have a look at this. This is textbook. Here it comes on the forehand side.
Certainly have been the most proactive of the pairs in the early stages here, the Indonesians.
Good defensive work by Thairat Thanachai. This is her by far strongest side, is her counter-attacking opportunities. She's playing from a defensive situation. And if the Thailand pair is getting more on the attack, if they direct more attacks towards Widjaja, Gloria Widjaja, they will find that her defense is not as strong as partner Faisal's.
Yeah, just flicked off Faisal's racket.
But as we can see how the game progresses, the Thailand pair in the red T-shirts here are definitely picking up in pace.
Well, that's great defence from the Thai pair. Real teamwork, those two.
Very nice return of serve by Faisal here. This one is really nice, just at the back of Thairat Thanachai.
Just caught out by the serve a little bit there.
10-8.
Well, just as you said, Morten, they picked out Wijako's terrific defence before that, and a handy three-point advantage for the Thais at the mid-game interval.
Yeah, this was textbook once again. Very strong defence, then creating that counter-attacking opportunity, going cross-court on Vijaja.
ก็ยังตีโดยไม่ต้องโกงเข้าใจไหมเราเอาแรงแค่ไหนแรงประมาณไหนแรงประมาณไหนแรงประมาณไหนนึกออกไหมแล้วคุมหัวลูกก่อนคุมหัวลูกเพื่อเราต้องการให้ลูกขึ้นนึกออกไหมแต่ถ้าเกิดเราตีไปแล้วป้ายไปลูกมันไม่ขึ้นลูกมันกระดกเกินขึ้นเฉยเลยใช่ไหมจึ๊บลงมาหน่อยเนาะแล้วหัวไม้สูงหน่อยแล้วหัวไม้สูง
Hold 1, 20 seconds.
เตรียมให้มันดี
Hold 1, 20 seconds. Eleven, 8, play. Service over.
It's a couple of uncharacteristic
9,
net
11.
errors from Taratana-Chai so far. So used to seeing her being virtually faultless there.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see that. I don't think that Sapsari Taratana-Chai is really pumped up yet. She still have to get into the tournament, and this is what we very often see when we talk about first round matches and so on, how it's important for the players to get into the tournament, and it's clearly to see that Taratana-Chai is still not there.
I mean, of all the pairs they could have drawn, the number 4 seeds, this is one of the tougher.
Yeah, they're just outside this seeding layer,
Yeah.
because as you can see, they're number 10 on the world ranking.
So that 3-point advantage that the Thais enjoyed at the mid-game interval has evaporated in the blink of an eye.
It was a very strong interception by Gloria Vijaja here. Another one. She's really, the last few points, she's played very well.
Service over. Turn off.
Yeah, that was a good flick serve down the middle there by Ranacrow. Didn't get the outright winner, but still it was a tricky serve to receive for Faisal. And here we see it once again. Even though Vijaja did everything correct, she tried to get away from her as much as possible by lifting that cross-court into the deep backhand corner of Purwal Ranacrow, but still he managed with a very strong smash cross-court to score the winner. Purwal Ranacrow out changing racket, the string was gone.
15, turn.
But
Didn't matter in the end.
no, it did not. Look at that! Look at that one.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah, maybe completely confused Gloria Vidyaja while he was running out of court.
Play.
Well, you wouldn't say it's been vintage Purvarenicro and Tarutanachai so far, but doing enough to keep their heads above water here in this opening game.
I think you're very right in what you're saying. They're doing just enough. It's a typical first round match of one of these bigger tournaments.
Yeah, first of 5, or at least that's what they'll hope. 5th match will be the final on Sunday if they get that far.
Service over.
Nearly rescued what looked to be mission impossible there, the ties.
15.
And just to show that Hafiz Faisal and Gloria Vidyaja is a very strong combination this year. In 2019, they have reached 5 semi-finals and 1 final. Good play, really good play there by Vidyaja. Excellent interception there, the net. Trying to look at this one first, but this one was really nice. Very decisive.
Yeah, they haven't given this up yet. That final you mentioned was the German Open towards the start of the year. But as you say, they've gone deep in several other events as well. And that's careless. That will be very frustrating,
17.
because they worked really hard to get themselves back into this game. Still not out of it, but that service error will be very costly.
Oh! 18, 14.
And that's once again a very fine example of how solid the Thailand pair is, playing really good pace, not making any mistakes, really good basic game, and then just forcing the error.
It's just a couple of points away now from securing this opening game as Tarutanachai serves. And here are 6 game points for the ties.
20, game point, 14.
That's fantastic, really nice spinning net shot there at the net, securing this opening game by Tarutanachai.
So 21-14, ties in control early in this first round match.
Udah ada unggul 1 angka, matanya agak sepele terus. Jangan spekulasi dulu. Ya, bola belum nggak usah nungguin. Ada kadang goyangnya di situ tuh. Mereka lebih tahan tuh. Wah, apa namanya yang bongkarnya mereka udah ngangkatnya terus. Terus mereka tuh bisa nyepetin kamu agak puntang-puntang tuh. Kalau kamu agak ngasih-ngasih terus tuh. Jadi nggak ada nyepetnya. Dan sama gambarnya juga. Jangan lurus terus, dia udah nungguin tuh. Sama sekali, tapi temponya harus dicepetin. Jangan nunggu, kalau kamu nunggu, Gloria kena. Ya harus ada begitunya. Mereka bedanya begitu, kamu agak kebongkar terus tuh. Ya sama mereka sabar, sabar. Kadang-kadang kamu nggak sabar, terus eksplorasi begini, ya enak, hati. Ya, seperti kesabaran mereka juga nggak bahaya sebenarnya. Kalau mereka rajinnya tahan ada bongkarnya. Jadi ngangkatnya agak nyepetin terus tuh. Nah, kadang-kadang ada suatu waktu kami kebongkar posisinya. Ya jangan terlalu polos sih ngangkatnya. Cuma jangan kalau ngilang jangan nunggu guys. Kalau nunggu ceweknya yang digedor kan harus nyepetin. Kalau enggak ya udah naik lagi lurus nggak apa-apa. Ya hati-hati cara momen dia nyolong tuh. Pas tinggal atau pas kamu habis nyolong dia bisa balas tuh overhead. Ya servisnya di situ agak penanganan nggak apa-apa. Tapi agak kalahan kan yang gitu harus jadi. Ya bongkarnya tetap bongkarnya jangan polos. Jadi depannya kadang cepetin dan tetap lagi.
10 feet again.
Tapi cepet dua kali kan lalu gitu.
10 feet again.
Ya tapi itu sayang poinnya itu jangan gampang gitu lagi.
Second game. Locker, play.
So the Indonesians playing catch up here as we start game 2.
Service over. 1 love. Love. In. 3 love.
Seem to remember the Indonesians got off to a fast start in the first game and then got pegged back.
1 3.
So it might be a case of history repeating here. Just back on her heels, wasn't she? Couldn't get to that really well-judged little drop shot from whoever ran your crow.
Service over. 4 2.
Excuse me, 3 of the 4 players on court have done really well on junior level. Tyrat Tanachai won the Youth Olympic Games in the women's singles in 2010. Partner Purwa Ranakro won the World Juniors in 2014, but that was in the men's doubles. And of course their opponents, Gloria Vijaja, won the World Junior Championship in mixed doubles in 2011. So all 3 out of 4 have done really well in the juniors.
Well, the Indonesians will be hugely encouraged by this start, albeit aided and abetted by a few unforced errors from their opponents. Foot 4, I think that was.
It was foot 4, yes. Perhaps Vijaja was stepping on the line. It's a little bit difficult for us to see. Good flick serve, really nice flick serve there by Tyrat Tanachai.
4 6.
Well, the body language of
7-4.
Tara Tanachai said it all there.
She's normally a very good steady server. Will be disappointed with that serve.
5-7.
This time the flick serve was punished by Faisal. He was very alert. That was good to see.
Once again, clearly trying to target Rujaja.
Yeah, the problem in her defence is that she's very, very committed to one side defence. On this instance, it was the backhand defence, and then, of course, it was very open on the forehand. When she's standing on the cross one, she's always standing in such a way that she's very one-sided, and that always makes it very tricky for her to defend the opposite side. That's way, way out. Sure that Purval Ranacrow not happy with that shot.
Nicely done by Purval Ranacrow. They're back within a point again. And still the careless errors keep on coming from a Thai pair.
Yeah, in this second game, normally they are rock steady, but I do admit that as it looks right now, some mistakes are coming from the rackets of the two Thailand players. Another one here.
Yeah, and a handy little lead for the Indonesians, 11-8, mid-game interval.
Yeah, solid return of serve there by Puawaranokro. Really did well on that one. Very proactive, very quick on it.
Well, if they're going to start a little mini comeback, now would be a pretty good time to do it. And they're going to have to be a little sharper than they were in the first half of this second game. Terrific reactions at the net from Puawaranokro.
10-turn.
Yeah, this is one of the really good combinations for the Thailand pair. When Thairat Thanachai is at the back, she can hold herself. She's got a very strong smash, a good attack from the back. But the interception by Puawaranokro is really, really good at the net. And that's what we see in the top 4 pairs. All 4 combinations can do this one. And that's why they are a class above the rest, I would say, at the top. Talking about the 2 Chinese pairs, and then Watanabe and Higashino from Japan, and then this Thailand pair.
13-10.
It's a nice, subtle touch from Gloria Wijaja.
And here we saw one of the weaknesses of Thairat Thanachai is her movement forward when these block shots are coming, when she's in her defensive stance and that suddenly the block shot is coming, she's not moving that quickly forward. And very often you see that partner, Puawaranokro, is running in front of her and then retrieving that shot.
3号场地即将进行是女子双打，由来自中华台北的徐雅琴、吴明芳对阵来自韩国的张艺娜、金明慧。
Court 3, women's doubles. Tu Yajin, Hu Lingfang from Chinese Taipei versus Chang Yan-na, Kim Hui-rin.
A little bit fortunate, but they'll take it.
裁判员何鑫，中国；发球裁判苏晓峰，中国。
Umpire, Le Xin, China. Service judge, Su Xiaohuang, China.
Turn 13.
So from 12-8 down to 13 all now.
13-0.
And that was a very nice put away there by Thairat Thanachai. Trying to look at this one. Here, look at the action. That wrist action on the backhand side was just perfect.
Yeah, and the anticipation to get there in the first place. And now, a bit of pressure on Faisal and Wijaja, having squandered that big lead in this second game.
14-13.
2号场地即将进行的是男子双打，由来自中华台北的李阳、王麒麟对阵来自俄罗斯的伊万诺夫、索伊托。
Oh, that's nice. Really well covered by Wijaja.
From Chinese Taipei versus Vladimir Ivanov, Ivan Sazonov from Russia.
That was good play by the Indonesians here. Very well covered by the tall Gloria Wijaja at the centre there. And then stayed in the rally. And look at this very, very fine counter-attacking shot by Faisal here. Placing it very nicely on the forehand side of Thairat Thanachai. Yeah, coach Nova Widianto encouraging the players to have the racket up at all times.
Yeah, eventually it wasn't going to come back.
14.
Somewhat surprising miss.
15 all.
Well, great defence from the Thais, but eventually Thailand and Wijaja wore them down.
Thank you. Play.
So this second game's on a knife edge here. Just a question of which pair's going to hold their nerve in the business end of it.
Service over. 17, 16. Play.
Very, very good rally here. See, exactly. Purwaranakro running in front of Thairat Thanachai on that one.
Oh, found a gap.
And here we got coach Nova Widianto, former world champion himself, twice in mixed doubles in 2005 and 2007 with Liliana Natsir. But look at that one. That's the fine example of Purwaranakro running in front of Thairat Thanachai because he knows she can't get to it.
Oh, that was an opportunity,
Service over.
and that might prove very costly. Expect him to miss that.
17.
Well, Ranacrow had a good chance to go cross-body on his attack on Vijaja, and he chose not to. He went down the center twice, and I think that was even a more costly mistake.
Oh! Service over.
Well, I guess you never really get it back, but he'll feel like he's atoned for the error.
But now when it gets really close at the end is very, very important in this service situation. And I feel there's a slight edge towards the Thailand pair in the red T-shirts. They are slightly better around the service situation.
Service over.
He's making too many errors, though, at the moment.
18.
He looked absolutely disgusted with himself, poor Ranacrow. Just a couple of points away now for Faisal and Vijaja to level this match, albeit the lead is a slender one. Well, they were kind of in trouble, weren't they, the Indonesians, as soon as they made the decision to go with the flicker there.
19.
And over the years, as I've watched Gloria Vijaja as well, she's having a small tendency to get nervous towards the ends when it's getting really close. So let's see whether she can hold her nerves on this one.
Well, the Thais have hardly been ahead in this match, in this game at all. I think once in the middle of it, but it's mainly been the Indonesians who've had the initiative. Massive point coming up.
Good serving there by Tanacha. And look at that, setting it up nicely.
And here is a match point
Red point 19.
for the number 4 seeds.
I think Tanacha would go for a low serve. She's doing that so well, and that would add on a lot of pressure here. Oh, and the flick serve was coming.
It's good, and that's it. They hardly led in the game at all, but 21 points to 19. The number 4 seeds come through a pretty tightly contested and maybe sometimes a bit of a scrappy first round match, but they've got the job done, and that's the main thing. It's nervy at times for them, especially in the second game.
Match won by third top point.
You'd expect them to
And
improve
Sachi,
throughout the tournament, though.
21, 14.
Yes,
21,
of course I
19.
do that. The first round is always tricky, as I mentioned earlier, but I think all due credit to the Indonesian pair as well. I think they played well, especially in this second game. But that deep forehand corner is a trouble area for Faisal. A lot of points were won in that corner.
So 21-14, 21-19, the scoreline. 43 minutes on court. Up next, men's singles.